like, gosh, I'm such a mess. Like, not just around my house, but like just me. I see progress, you know?
Yeah. Hi, everyone. I am Joyce in Texas. I am here with my friend Lela. Today we are tackling her TV den room, and some of what is in here are from our previous videos.
Yes.
Yeah.
But this whole pile that you see here and the coffee table is all, like, it's all come out of other spaces, and I just haven't dealt with it yet.
And she's got a party to throw tomorrow. So this is a rush get her done, and I'm excited because one of the things that she said as a goal was that she wanted to entertain, and that was from the very first video.
It was, and over the last couple of weeks I've slowly whittled away more and more at what we've done.
Yep.
And my son, who's graduating from 8th grade, asked the other day if I thought we could have some of his friends and their families over. And for the first time, I didn't feel sucker punched as an immediate reaction. And I said, yes, I think we can. The house isn't going to be perfect. And he's like, I don't care. You've made so much progress, Mom. I'm so proud of you. Aww. Like, I'm motivated to get it done. Just part of why I came in like a tornado.
All right, we're going to jump in and we'll talk a little bit more about her progress and things that she's done. But we are going to start with this coffee table that has a lot of stuff that came out of her laundry and vanity area. So she thinks we'll get through this first pretty quick, and then we're going to tackle everything on the floor and then deal with the shelves and maybe that closet in the corner and see how far we can get. All right, ready?
Ready.
Let's do it.
Go.
Okay. Some of this came out of this, right?
Yeah, so I have some art supplies and school supplies that all came out of this plastic bin that was in my laundry room. And I have a friend who's a school teacher that is going to take a good little chunk of them. So actually, I'm going to do that first. And
so is this going to go to the garage for Maya for college?
Yes. I want to take that to the garage. And the storage pieces that we have, like the storage containers and everything, that's kind of what my plan is to hang on to those and figure out what I have and what I can keep for her to go off to school.
Okay.
You know what I need?
What?
Maybe one of those little blue baskets. There's a few things that I know need to go to Bert's room.
Okay. That'll just relocate.
So that'll be a little relocate bin.
Can this go on the floor for the dogs?
Yes, it can actually be donated.
Oh,
Okay. Use it.
so do we just want a HEB bags for donate?
Sure.
And do we need a trash bag too?
Yes, I actually have one started right there.
Okay.
And another one right here.
Okay.
So those books, I don't know if you want to just, and there's, I think, a couple of others.
Do they stay here?
Yeah, they live there, but if we want to use the table
For the party?
Well, I'll probably leave them for the party,
Okay.
but if we want to use the table like for sorting things,
Okay.
we could maybe put them on one of these bar stools or on this little thing back here just so they're out of the way.
Okay. So while you're doing that, you want to talk about how you've been feeling?
I would love to.
Do these go back there too, or do you?
Yes, no, those can all go back there as well. I have just been feeling really motivated, really good. Not just where the house is concerned, but I've really had some progress with my anxiety and the things that I struggle with in that area. I had one thing, and I didn't put this on a video just for his own like privacy as a 14-year-old boy, but I spent a Saturday that he went to the ranch with my husband really cleaning out my son's room, which is why this multiplied. And I'm gonna make this a donation bag.
Okay.
And he was so happy when I came home, and he's been, you know, he doesn't keep it perfect, but he keeps it, like, he'll come home from school and run through it and pick it up real quick, and he's just so happy about it.
And he's been on board from the very beginning.
He has. He seems to be the one, which is, I think, more his personality, very excited. And like, he walks in the door and he immediately sees the progress that we've made, or, you know, things that I've cleaned out. And then when I need stuff like loaded in my car to take to the dumpster or to the donation center, like, he's right there helping me put it up. And then he started going through his own stuff. He came out one day and he'd cleaned out his caps. And Mom, I have this stock of caps I don't ever wear, and I have too many. Can we get rid of them? Yes, let's put them in the donation pile.
Yay.
You know, so he has, and he's really loved his space. Being able to get things going and having a little celebration for his 8th grade. Everyone's coming over for a little food. Everyone's bringing kind of a potluck, if you will.
Yeah.
But I feel good about it. So that's really exciting.
Yay. Awesome. So what are you doing with these art supplies?
These art supplies are to keep. So I have all these art supplies, and my daughter and I have been talking, and we have a little like casita in the backyard that we have intended to turn into an art studio.
Mm-hmm.
It was her little like playhouse when she was little. We want to keep the art supplies for now, and then she and I are going to work this summer to separate them out so that she has some to take to college and I have some to keep here. So right now I'm just trying to consolidate and contain all the art supplies.
Okay.
With that in mind.
Okay. Are there any in that laundry room drawer that need to come into here? No?
We brought them all out.
Okay.
I've brought them all out. There may be some mixed in here.
Okay.
But I have been slowly kind of gathering them all with the idea of putting them all in one bin so that we have one place to look until we sort them, and then one to sort.
Okay. Sounds good. It looks like, without these, do they need to go in there?
Yes, those need to go over here.
It's voiceover Joyce. Her daughter actually came in at this point, and so there was some talking off and on, and so I went ahead and just decided that I would chat with you while we continue to work. So she is still consolidating all of the art, and what I am doing is going through all of the bins that are in front of the TV, and I'm kind of digging through them, looking to see if there is any art items mixed in those that need to be consolidated with what she's working on. Let's put it over there in the corner.
Okay.
And then you want to do these electronics next?
Sure.
Golf carts?
So his golf bag is in the garage.
Okay, so put them by the back door.
Yes.
And this blanket, does it normally stay here?
Perfect. You want to show it to Joyce? Joyce, do you want to show her
Yes.
progress?
I put them in like that so that you could see what they are.
So Maya, who is Leela's daughter, went through and decluttered the cookie cutters and kept this amount and is giving the rest to a friend. So yay, good job. Whoop, whoop. This.
So I need
Is
To
it
find a home. What it is it's not really a blanket. It's more of a like nap mat type
Okay.
thing. I think we use it anymore.
Do you need to ask any of the family?
Let me ask Maya what she thinks.
Okay, I'm gonna roll it up and make it a little bit more like a pillow. Maybe?
Yes.
It's cute.
It is cute. It was great when they were younger with sleepovers. Don't do a lot of sleepovers anymore. And I think they've gotten too big. It's not super comfortable.
And this car was on top of that.
That can be donated. So actually, as I think about it, before we can donate it, it's a remote control, and I don't know where the remote control is.
Okay.
When we first started talking, maybe before we got on the camera, I was kind of saying that there are things that I don't know if they're like really good donate material because
If they can't operate it, I guess the question is, can they buy a remote for that, or do you think it'll show up?
it might show up. If it shows up, it's going to show up as we work through today.
So
Maybe we hang on to it right there for the moment.
do you want parts that we'll wait and see if we can find matching?
Yes.
Okay. Put it over by the art supplies box.
Now, this bin has been designated for her son's relocate items.
I'm just gonna pull anything electronics out.
That's perfect.
And you can see how quickly I forget that because I start pulling all the odds and ends items and putting them in there, and she was so sweet to never correct me. Now, I was a little remiss because I didn't ask her to share what her decision-making process was with all of these electronics, but it boils down to, do you need them? Do you not? Do you have multiples? And we already went through some electronics that she had in her office area as well as in her laundry room. So she knows her inventory.
I can't remember what we were talking about when Maya came in. I had asked you how you were feeling. I don't know if you finished saying or not.
I don't know that I did. I've been feeling really good. My anxiety hasn't gone away, but it's so much more manageable than it used to be. This weekend was kind of hectic and I took my son to this lacrosse tournament. I've just been in a place where like before I would have been like really overwhelmed and not sure where to start and all of that. I'm much more focused on that can go in the trash. I'm much more like, okay, how much time do I have? Okay, I have 30 minutes or an hour or whatever. So I'm gonna tackle this corner or that or whatever. And so I just feel like I'm able to go into spaces we've already done
Yeah.
and make progress. And then I'm able to I've also been able to tackle new spaces just a little bit at a time, you know? And
So many people are commenting about how they can, from the first video to now, see a visible change in you. And you're more talkative, you smile more, you're just happier.
I am. I watched all the videos. And if I'm honest, like the first one was hard. Not really for the reason I thought it would be, but like it was hard to see myself and hear myself, and I felt kind of like, gosh, I'm such a mess. Like, not just around my house, but like just me. But I went back and watched all of them recently, and I see progress. You know, I don't know how many people I've shared it with have actually gone and watched them, but my sister on Sunday watched them and sent me just a really sweet message at how proud she was of me. And I'm sure you all met a long time ago at some point, at some birthday party or something.
Right.
But she doesn't know you really.
Yeah.
And so she's like, and I just love Joyce. Like, I just want to see her and hug her, and I just love her. And so I see the difference, but I've started, like, I came from work, like, I changed my shirt, starting to dress a little bit differently. At this lacrosse thing that I went to this weekend with my son, like, I sat and talked the whole time. There was a barbecue afterwards that, like, the families were invited to go to. I went. I engaged. I mean, I was exhausted when I got home or back to our hotel, but it wasn't an overwhelmed, anxious, I don't know if I can do it tomorrow exhausted. It was just like, okay, I need to go to bed because I got to get up tomorrow morning and go do it again. I see a difference in me, and I've been doing a lot of different things. I've done a new treatment for PTSD. I'm on a new medication, but I think a huge part of it is getting the house and getting to a place where, like, it's not perfect all the time. Like, my front table isn't staged the way it was. It's a dumping ground when we walk in, but any evening I want to, I can take 10 minutes and fix it.
Yeah.
And put stuff away and throw things away, and like, I can have it done 10 minutes or less.
That's
and it
perfect.
feels so good.
That's awesome. There's a lot of art in here.
Oh lordy.
I don't think it's all art, but I'm gonna hand you and
So I feel like these we can donate.
okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to do it in this, or you want to take
let's
it out?
just
of there?
donate it in that as a package.
Heavy to lift up. Okay, now we're getting into some tools.
Okay, some of that's probably going to be quite a bit of trash to sort through.
Well, you know what? We already have it out. Might as well touch it. So there's
Yes.
some books. Move this so they can see. What's helping you with your decisions?
This is going to be a little bit hard, so I'm going to kind of try to. I haven't made a decision yet.
Okay. Because the other question is, where are these books going to go?
And that's going to be a hard one. We can probably do a whole nother session on books. I'm going to table the books for a minute.
Okay.
I really need to clean out books. Like, I really need to. It's going to be a hard one.
Okay. Well, let's wait on these then. This one's more sentimental.
That's our wedding album.
Where would that go?
Probably would like to put it on this table when we're done.
Okay, so I'm gonna move it to where we have the other books.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see what's in here. Do you know what's in here?
Oh, those are books that I mean, they're really good books. I just don't think I will ever use them. They're kind of reference books, all about healing foods.
Okay.
And as much as I would really like to, I think I don't know that I will reference them.
So do you want to donate those? Or do you want to take them to, is it hot price books where you
I
can
may
sell
take them to half price books. So
Okay.
maybe if we could, tell you what, let's do. You see this short bin right here? Yeah. Let's just set it aside for a temporary container
Okay, for books?
for books that I will, like, the books I will take to half price bookstore.
I can take these.
Thanks. These I want to put in my car.
I'm gonna get a dust rag.
Yes.
So they're under your sink?
Oh, they're in my laundry room. Do you want me to grab
I know
one?
where it is.
Yes, you do.
Okay.
Okay, Joyce, I need some guidance.
Okay. What you need?
So these toys,
The little stuff?
these are some toys that I don't really know how they work. And I don't know if we have all the parts and pieces to them.
Okay.
This is one of those things that I'm sort of inclined to
Trash?
just dump. They're these top things,
The spinner type of thing?
spinner type things, but I think there's a piece missing and I have no idea if we have all the pieces. And when I asked my son about like keeping them, his reaction was, did I think one of our friends who has a younger child might want them, like a younger boy? But that particular child has a hand-eye coordination issue that she's not sure he could work them, and they don't really need the toys.
Yeah.
Like, they have plenty of their own, but I don't think he could use these.
We have a lot to go through, so I would say either a quick decision of trash or put in a bag for donation.
I mean, I think that this is one of those things that would be a really quick decision for me to just dump it.
Okay.
And I don't really like doing that
Nobody
usually,
does, yeah.
but I think there's sometimes when you just have to.
So, did you go through this already?
So that's the stuff I'm setting aside for
little
Bert.
Okay,
Yes.
got it.
And so and then there's also that gray one
Yeah.
is like for tools, and so I pulled a couple of out for that. I think I'm gonna just dump these.
Okay. That's kind of satisfying to say.
It is. It's kind of one of those bittersweet things where like I feel a little bit guilty.
Yes.
There's a plastic bin on the top right by the door there.
Uh-huh.
Do you mind bringing that? Yes. So these are more toys, and in all honesty, I would be inclined to also dump those.
Okay. If this is unopened, it looks like. Do you want to donate that?
Yeah, I can do that. But these like parts and pieces,
Yeah.
I'm not so inclined to.
I'm gonna need a bag before too long.
And if we may be out, I bought some new ones and have them in my car. That whole box is donation.
Okay.
It just didn't get taken.
Okay. How about this?
I want to say that that is also. Oh no.
What did you decide?
Do you donate spray paint?
You can. Would that not be in your craft bin? You don't think you'd use that for crafts?
I don't think we got it and have never used it.
Okay. Yeah, you can donate.
And this is like modeling clay. This was for a particular project we ended up like not doing and we've never touched.
Okay.
It's kind of heavy.
Yeah, I'll put it by donate.
She is doing such a excellent job of going through things and making decisions. And all these decisions add up, but she's got great motivation, which is to entertain for the 8th grade graduation party. And I'm just proud of what she's doing.
All right, so do we need to create a ranch bin?
Yes, that would be perfect.
Was this going to the ranch too?
Actually, someone wanted
Or
that.
did Maya want it for her part?
I think I was going to keep it in case she wanted it for her apartment.
Does this need to go with your craft stuff?
No. That is, and I think there's some more, although I think it's in the garage already.
Cascarones. And
Yeah, so there's Costco.
Easter.
This is like a little Easter. This is what we didn't use at Easter.
Mhm.
And I think my hope was to put it somewhere.
Other seasonal stuff out in the garage.
I have a little bit, including I think some cascarones. And so that's where like I contained it to there with the intention of moving it out there.
Would it go in your craft shed, she shed thing y'all are gonna create?
My goal, and I was actually thinking about this like the other day, because I have a goal of someday doing the garage, and we had tried to schedule it earlier when it was cooler, and
Yeah.
so it's probably something that will either get tabled until the fall or something,
Or we treat it like a sauna treatment and work in the heat.
or we treat it like a sauna treatment. Although I will tell you, I went and spent an hour in there yesterday evening, and it was a sauna treatment. It will go to the garage.
Okay.
Yeah. Hi, my friend. How are you?
I feel like I'm stuff shuffling over here.
It's a lot of stuff shuffling, which is
Which is
why all
hard.
this stuff is still here.
Yeah.
Um,
Decks of cards.
so those I want to keep.
Where would they go?
We're gonna make a home for them right now.
So this did it have her name on it?
No, I don't think it had. I think we were getting rid of this one. Yeah, it doesn't have a.
Okay. So donation or
Yes.
okay, so let's put it in the bag.
So we're basically bringing stuff over here. She's using this as a sorting area, and we've got kind of a tool thing, relocate for her son, trash. This will be ranch. This will be reselling books. We have crafts over here, some books over here, parts that we're still looking for, I think, on that. And then all of these empty containers that might be used. And then this right here is going to the garage. And we said this would be for Maya's college as well. So it's slowly dwindling and getting sorted, and that's a donation bag right there. So it's coming along.
Okay. Let me put that to
Um,
the front door.
this is donation.
Okay.
It's kind of heavy. Got it?
Yeah, I got it. Are you making a dent?
So Lela is doing a lot of the decisions that I'm not able to make. So I'm just trying to stay busy. I'm not doing a deep cleaning, but anything that I can easily see and deal with, I do. And I am really trying to feed her the inventory that she's going to be working with.
Pretty.
I had lent these to a friend. I've lived in this bag since she brought them back.
Where do they normally live?
I used to live on my dining table. If we have time today, something I would like to do is do a little crimping of my bookshelves and my coffee table and that table. And then I do want to clear off the bar. But with all the things, like I have certain things mostly up on the bookshelves and a few over everywhere that mean things, and I'd like to use those things first. And so I wouldn't mind getting rid of them if we don't find a space for them, or seeing like if Maya thinks that she might want them and adding them to the bin.
Okay. So is this bin of containers something that Maya's taking, or these were just?
You know what, actually, I'd like to pull Maya in here for a minute.
Okay.
So this is a closet to the right.
of her television and bookcases. And it's got some dog treats, candles and ribbon. Not sure what's in here. Found some more trash bags that we are looking for. And you can see she has other things marked. Now this probably isn't priority to get her ready for her party, but she's actually on the phone. So I am just looking to see if there's anything in here that I can work on while she's doing that. There's some things still in here, and this is just progress. You can see that a lot of this has shifted, and she's currently working on this. Then here, this section is items that are going to college with her daughter, or a couple of items to the garage. And then these are all the empty bins that we're dealing with. And we're getting there. We're getting there.
Rather than sit idle, I started looking for things to do. And in this closet, I knew there were pet treats and stuff, but in this basket, I found these other art pieces. And so because she has an art bin and these are lacquer and different glues and stuff like that, I thought, let me go ahead and pull those out so we can put like things with like.
So I have a quick question for you.
I found more trash bags.
Okay, good.
This is not priority. Getting this ready for your party tomorrow's priority, but I was killing time.
No, and I appreciate it. I'm sorry for the interruption.
No, that's okay.
So I'm thinking through this, and I'm wondering if like all the extra storage stuff that we have, we want to move outside to the cement for now, so we get the clutter out of here. And then if we need something, like if we need a container, we can pull it in real quick, but
Okay.
at least the clutter's out. And then when you leave, I can move it into the garage.
Okay.
But that way, like, I don't want to waste your time moving it into the garage, but at least we get it out of here. What do you think?
I think that's good. Anything that we might be able to use in this closet, the smaller ones,
Yeah.
I might want to keep here.
Perfect.
But the big tubs, I think, yes, they
Okay.
can go. And then we can move this stuff to the garage too.
Okay.
I say we tackle this before
Okay.
we tackle your shelves. Okay. And then in here are just some cleaners, concentrates.
So we can put those under the sink.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. I have a real book problem. I mean, I think from when we did my dressing table area, you can remember I have all those books. And now I have more books in here. And behind some of those books, I have more books on the lower shelves mostly. I could probably make a really quick sweep and see if I could add some to those other health books to get rid of, but I could probably spend way too long going through books and deciding which ones to keep. And I have a few more over here on the coffee table that I do want to keep, like for sure. So I need a little bit of guidance there.
So I think we should do a one pass of any that are easy decisions that you don't even have to think about and say, nope, that goes, that goes, that goes.
Okay.
And at least those are gone. You
Gone.
can say, take them to resell. And if that creates room on the shelves for the other stuff that you do want to keep,
Yeah.
and then you can do a second pass later.
Yes.
But I do feel like
Yeah.
that you could probably thin some out.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I think I can pretty quickly.
Okay. Do you want to do that now?
Will you tell me what you think is the first next step? I guess part of my idea of doing that now is that there are a couple of books on the table that go in there. Well, there's more because those over there will go in there.
Right. So what I'm thinking is let's finish cleaning off the coffee table.
Okay.
If there's any that you say, I know I want that to go, we'll put in the resale bin. And if there's any that are maybes, maybe we'll pull those out and you can take a few extra minutes to look at those.
Okay. So do you want me to tackle the stuff that's on the coffee table that's not book related first?
Yes.
Which will be pretty quick and easy.
Yeah. What about this tray?
So that I wanted to keep.
Where were you thinking to keep it?
I'm inclined to maybe put it up with my serving trays and stuff, so it's just out of the way for the moment.
Okay.
I tell you what, why don't you put it on my stove for the moment?
Okay.
A lot that was left on this table was basically just relocate, and it went quickly.
What is this DOHM thing?
It's a sound machine,
Oh, okay.
and Bert really likes to sleep with it.
Okay. Is there a reason it's not in his room?
I pulled it out of his room when I was like cleaning stuff out,
Okay.
and he's actually been asking for it.
Okay. And then this paint.
So that can probably go in the trash. It's really old.
I'm going to talk through what you're doing.
So I'm doing a little bit of, do you have that dust rag?
I do.
I'm kind of doing a little bit of everything in that I sat down to go through books and I'm seeing how dusty it is because these bookshelves have been blocked for a very long time.
They're really deep.
Well, there's a reason for that. This was kind of a naive, like, planning on our part, or just inexperienced, if you will. In that, when we built them, like, when we moved into this house 22 years ago,
Wow.
there was nothing here at all. And there wasn't a place for a TV, and it was just a big open space, but like you couldn't put any furniture over here, like to sit, because it's not
It was
that
too
deep.
narrow.
Like it was, So we had this idea of building something like this out. Didn't quite turn out the way that we anticipated, but it's worked well. But our TV back then was one of those huge 300-pound
Yeah.
things, so it had to be deep to accommodate the TV,
Yeah.
which not long after that we then got rid of and went to flat screens.
Yeah.
And so they are really deep, which has been kind of dangerous because
So
I tend to...
I am going to stop you from cleaning.
Okay.
I don't want you to do anything but look for quick wins of books you're going to let go of.
Okay.
Because it will go faster and we can dust together afterwards,
Okay.
but it will go slower if you do all the dusting as you go.
Okay.
So you can hand to me if there's any you want to sell. And actually, let me get you the bin. And this will be for resale.
I don't know how much of this is resale,
We
but
might need to put them up on their ends. Maybe, I don't know.
that one I don't think will resell because it's got some water damage or something.
Okay. And the other thing to think about is you said you wanted to clear the bar area.
Yes.
So that one thing your mom made,
Yes.
if we could make a place for it on the shelves. You
Yes.
talked about doing that too.
Yes. Okay, I think that might be for this side.
What are you talking for? What you talking for?
She is in the zone and pulling things out and making decisions. And for a first pass, she is doing so good with this.
You have 2 atomic habits. Did you know that?
Yes, I did. Where's...
There's one back here on the table, and then there's one down there.
One I had... Can you get that one and see if it's highlighted?
Yeah, this one.
So I'll keep this one.
I feel like you have a lot of good books for Maya's degree in psychology, you know?
Yes.
Oh, it's a dust rag. I can dust while you're doing that. So how are you making your decisions in case somebody needs to do something similarly?
I'm not really sure that there is a great system going through my head. I think that one thing I'm doing, and I may regret this a little bit, but I'm just gonna go with it, is that the first like sweep is that I have a lot of like decor and kind of organizing coffee table like books,
Uh-huh.
but I don't really,
Need that many.
and I don't ever look at them. Like, I'm not sure I've ever looked at them. And I'm digging deeper than I really intended to, because I knew these were back here and you didn't. I do like coffee table books,
Yeah.
so I've kept a lot of them. But I also have a lot that I don't need to keep.
Okay.
And so I kind of used that as a filter. Like, I'm never going to sit down and look through them.
Right.
At this point, her lawn care people were outside mowing and weed eating, and so the dogs got a little riled up. And so we're going to go back to a voiceover. While she continues to declutter, I just am on the right side doing the light dusting and starting to move things around on the shelves and making some more room. But for the most part, I probably spent too long on one or two shelves. And this finished product that you will see shortly is a temporary finished product. This was a first pass at her books, and this was really about getting it just good enough to be happy with it and to be ready for her party tomorrow. So please don't judge exactly how everything was placed on there. It's not going to be the final, but it does look better than when we started.
As I've been going through my books, sort of what I started with was coffee table books focused around organizing and decorating,
Yeah.
because I'm just not ever going to go back to those. I'm just not.
Yeah.
And they're not what I want to put out on my coffee table. So I'm letting go of those.
Okay.
Some just like fiction books that I'll never go back and read. And there were a couple that I kept that I think my daughter might like or my son might like, but very few of those.
Okay.
The ones that I'm keeping are books that I have either really gained a lot of kind of knowledge from,
Uh-huh.
or things that I reference that I will come back to.
This might be photographs.
Oh my goodness. Are preschool photographs of my son
Aw.
who is graduating from 8th grade.
They're perfect timing. You can put them on display for the party.
I mean, look how cute he is.
He still is.
I know he is. He really is.
He really is.
So this past weekend, I took my son to Austin. I'm going to brag on myself a little bit, but also just tell how sweet and wonderful he is. We went to Austin for this lacrosse camp overnight. Had two hotel rooms because I had my son and two friends. And on Sunday morning, he woke up with the biggest grin on his face and came and gave me the biggest hug and said, "Mom, thank you so much for bringing me.
Aw.
I just love you so much." And I've always known that. I mean, he's always been a sweet and affectionate kid, even for being a teenage boy.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get a little emotional. But the last few years, as I've been buried and felt a little broken
Yeah.
by everything, they've loved on me. They've supported me in ways that I didn't know kids could.
Yeah.
But I can see in him that he sees me getting stronger and healthier, and he's celebrating that, even if he doesn't say it, you know?
Yeah.
And like, it's been that way with the house. I mean, the other day, the snack basket was overflowing a little bit. If we go back to my kitchen and the snack basket, and he came in and he was like, Mom, should we just take like 5 minutes to clean out the snack basket?
Wow.
And I was like, sure, Bert. Do you want to do it or you want some help? And he's like, no, I got it. I'm like, okay. For the future, you don't need a permission to do that. You can just do it. I just can't tell you, Joyce, how much this has meant to me, but how much it's meant to my family.
I am tearing up, you know, now.
I mean, it's made a difference for my family. And I mean, I think it's made a difference for people out there. Yeah. And that's what I wanted, but I didn't anticipate the difference it would make for every member in my household. So, thank you.
Well, you have been a huge example for others, and the transformation is very visible. And I just thank you for sharing. I'm so glad that your kiddos are on board.
Oh, they are. They're so happy.
And we have 3 dogs at our feet that are like totally chilled out. Thank you for sharing that. That's so sweet. I love hearing a teenage boy being sweet.
I know.
So let's take a look, guys. I'm going to show y'all down below. This tub here is what she's looking to take for resale. And you've got a couple for donation. And I think we're just going to freshen up the shelves right now. Because I think we can do a switcheroo. Like, where would you want to put this? Because we need a height that it can accommodate, right? And if we need to adjust a shelf.
We can definitely do that. So just like, so you know, we have to find a place for the airplanes.
Yes.
And the airplanes are extremely fragile.
Okay.
I'm back because the dogs are barking. And that's okay. We love our pets. So one thing I will say is that some of her shelves do not move. They're not adjustable, and others are. So I think in the future, it's probably a good idea to maybe move 1 or 2 and adjust them. But for right now, what we did was good enough for the day. And I'm just seeing a change in her even for this day. Like, she is going to be so happy when we're done, and just doing a little freshen up. So the question to you is, when's the last time you've freshened up your bookcases? Let me know in the comments if you have bookcases or a lot of decor and places, and how often you refresh them. I swear I look at mine like all the time because they're on either side of my television, and I'm always looking to say, what can I do different? I don't know why, but that's what goes through my head. I'd love to know if it does with you as well. Now, I will also share that I have ordered some microphones, and I don't know that they would be good enough to block out the dog barking, and we will, I guess, test that theory in some future episodes. And I had some old ones that I ruined, and they were not necessarily as maybe good quality. So I'm really hoping that the new ones that I purchased are going to work. I also needed them to have a really long battery life because sometimes we work up to 8 hours. On this particular day, I think we worked 3 to 4 hours and then had some chats at the beginning and at the end. So it was a nice, productive afternoon. I try when I go during the week to have it be a half a day so she can work half a day and not have to take a whole day off. And that tended to work for us really well. Okay, in that upper right hand side, you see where we were able to put that little house that her mother had put together. And it is now in a place of honor, and I love that for her. She said that she didn't really have a home for it, and I know since helping her, we've moved it from her breakfast bar area to the dining room, back to there. Now, these airplanes that we're putting up, they are her husband's, and they are precious to him, and so they're precious to her. I think that shelf that she just put them on probably should be raised up a notch, but that can be for a future adjustment. Now, guys, I spent way too much time on this shelf. I was just trial and error, trying to get them to stand up, trying to deal with the different bronzes she has. And she has some beautiful bronzes. I will give her that. The art pieces that she has are just amazing. And, you know, I had to keep myself busy, but at the same time, I do like some structure. Now, if you are a designer, please don't come at me in the comments. This series is about helping friends. It's not about being a designer. So if you are interested in that, please find your design advice from somewhere else. Thank y'all so much for your humor and understanding. The fun part is that Lela actually works for a design group, so she'll change it if she wants to. All right, guys, here is progress so far. We still need to ask about that. The craft supplies, school supplies for a friend. This will go out into the garage. That's for the ranch. This we still don't know about remote. Those are books that are going to be sold. And this is some donation. So, looking good. Okay, what do you think? I think it looks good.
I think it looks amazing.
You want to fine tune anything? It was just a light dusting, some reshuffling.
Yeah.
It got that piece that your mom made, which is up in that corner right there.
So happy to have that, have a home.
Yes. And off of the bar.
And off of, I just shuffle it everywhere. Ta-da!
It's so pretty. I'm going to show you the rest of the room, but how you feeling? You ready for the party?
I'm ready for the party. I'm so excited.
Yeah. You did a lot.
I did. We did a lot.
We did a lot. And it's not perfect, but if it was a first pass on books and she stayed focused, we did some rearranging. But other than that, a lot of this was carryover from other areas of the house.
It was.
And now it's got space, it's ready for a party, and I'm just excited for you.
Me too.
Thank you for sharing again.
Thank you for coming and helping me.
You're welcome. Any last words?
Don't be afraid to ask for help and take it one day at a time.
Perfect words. All right. Well, we're going to close like my dad always closed his voicemail messages. Bye for now.
Bye.